Now, Freud and his later disciples focused strongly on what is called psychosexual stages of development. Stages of development. Later on, Eric Bronfenbrenner took Freudian proposition and took it away from the sexual perspective and began to look at it from an environmental behavioral perspective. But let's stay with Freud for now. And one one core thing that Freud says is if at any of this stage there is conflict or lack of resolution, that there will be pressure, there will be crisis. The first stage that he describes is what he calls the oral stage, which is the infant explores the world with his mouth um, and gets pleasure from putting things in his mouth. The second stage is what he calls the anal stage, where the infant is focused on the anal area and fecal matter and fecal odor and bowel movement. And the next stage is called the phallic stage, where for both males and female, Freud believes that the male genital organ is unique in helping people in the process of the definition of identity. And the last stage is what he calls the genital stage, which comes up at puberty. As Christians, I believe that we should strongly challenge this proposition that we cannot accept that men developed simply around sexual issues. As important as sexual issues are, because we are not prudish, um, we don't accept that our development is solely based around sexual issues. Now, Freud says that if the sexual issues are not resolved, that there will be developmental failure. That's another major concept, that there will be developmental failure, there will be trauma. And he says that there may be fixation. Now, fixation is a concept that says that because a psychosexual stage was not properly engaged with, then the child would not be able to progress beyond that stage. So Freud believes that some children cannot progress beyond the oral stage or the anal stage, and there is a tendency for those children like that to be focused on pleasuring themselves. Um, there is Freud also says that it is possible for somebody to progress and then regress. So it is possible for somebody to get to, say, the genital phase and then face a lot of challenges and then go right back to a stage in which is more comfortable. Um, so children, for instance, may regress to sucking thumb and stuffs like that when they should be progressing. Now, as Christians, again, we challenge this proposition. And the last thing that Freud says in relation to this proposition is that people develop a defense mechanism in dealing with this conflict. And the defense mechanism may involve involves the ego functioning. It involves degree of gratification of the impulse, but also sometimes a demand on the discharge of that gratification. So what the defense mechanism does is it provides an outlet to engage with the conflict without fully succumbing to its implication. So it disguises, the defense mechanism disguises the pressure, disguises the conflict essentially, and can be inhibiting and can interfere with effective functioning. We can talk a little bit more about defense mechanisms some other time. Thank you.